Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we uncover the astonishing story behind one of the most legendary coins in American numismatic history, the 1940 wheat penny, a simple-looking 1-cent coin that is said to have achieved a jaw-dropping valuation of over $60.3 million due to its incredibly rare errors, unique characteristics, and the mysterious circumstances surrounding certain variations of its minting that have left collectors, historians, and numismatists in awe for decades. Before we dive into the heart of why a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could fetch tens of millions of dollars, let's take a moment to understand what makes the 1940 wheat penny not just a collector's dream but a cornerstone of American coinage folklore and investment intrigue, beginning with its historical context during a critical time in U.S. and world history. The year 1940 was a period when the world was engulfed in the early phases of World War II, and though the United States had not yet officially joined the war, its economy, society, and manufacturing were heavily influenced by the geopolitical tension, and this extended into the operations of the U.S. Mint. Coins like the 1940 wheat penny were produced in the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, identified respectively with no mint mark, a D mint mark, and an S mint mark, and each of these versions comes with its own distinct possibilities for minting errors, striking anomalies, planchet problems, and doubling effects that make specific coins from the same year carry vastly different values depending on their flaws, rarity, and survival rate in pristine condition. The 1940 wheat penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, continued to feature the iconic wheat ears on the reverse and Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, marking a continued legacy of a design that had already been in circulation since 1909. But what makes this particular year so fascinating is the wide range of minting inconsistencies and variations, including some that were never meant to be released to the public but accidentally entered circulation due to procedural oversights, wartime pressures, or transitional experimentation at the mint. Some known errors in the 1940 wheat penny that dramatically raise its value include the infamous doubled die obverse, which causes noticeable doubling in Lincoln's eye, the date, or the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." And these doubling effects were the result of misalignments during the hubbing process that were not caught during inspection, allowing a limited number of flawed coins to slip into circulation undetected and later become some of the most prized errors among collectors worldwide. Additionally, variations in the die cracks, die clashes, and cuds, raised areas caused by pieces of the die breaking off, can be found in 1940 pennies and are eagerly sought after, with severe die cracks or large retained cuds being highly distinctive and unique, often resulting in dramatically increased values in auction houses where passionate collectors are willing to pay exorbitant sums for one-of-a-kind specimens. Another rare occurrence is off-center strikes, where the coin is struck outside the central collar of the coin press, producing coins with missing or distorted designs. These off-center strikes in 1940 wheat pennies can range from minor, 5 to 10% off, to dramatic, over 50% off, with the latter being much rarer and thus far more valuable, particularly if the date is still visible, which allows the coin to be identified and authenticated. Then there are the planchet errors, which involve the metal blanks used to strike the coins, and in 1940, the standard composition was 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, but there are rumors and unconfirmed findings of a few experimental or off-metal strikes, possibly including bronze planchets with unusual impurities or even steel planchets left over from pattern testing or later wartime usage, and such anomalies, if verified, would be extraordinarily rare and instantly command astronomical valuations due to their historical and metallurgical uniqueness. Moreover, certain mint mark anomalies, such as repunched mint marks, RPM, particularly from the Denver and San Francisco mints, add another layer of collector interest, where close examination under magnification reveals that the mint mark was struck more than once in slightly different positions or angles, creating a visual doubling or tripling effect that is both a minting error and a testament to the manual processes still in place during that era. And these RPM coins are cataloged and studied meticulously by experts, with top-tier RPM examples fetching tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of dollars based on condition, prominence, and population. What elevates the mystique of the 1940 wheat penny to the level of a coin worth more than $60.3 million is the speculative yet compelling belief within numismatic circles that an ultra-rare prototype or transitional coin may exist from that year, perhaps a one-off coin minted on a silver planchet, or a coin struck with dies intended for foreign coinage due to mint mix-ups. Anomalies that are not widely documented but believed to exist in extremely limited numbers, with perhaps only one or two known examples, their whereabouts mostly unknown or privately held, and when such a coin surfaces at auction or in a private sale, its price is driven not only by intrinsic rarity but by the stories, legends, and bidding wars that arise among the world's wealthiest collectors. The condition of the coin also plays a critical role in its valuation, with coins graded mint state, MS, by leading third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC being exponentially more valuable than circulated counterparts, especially if they are graded MS 67 or higher, and the coin's eye appeal, strike quality, luster, and overall preservation become decisive in determining its market value, as even the same type of error in a higher grade coin can sell for 10x more than one in lower grade. Provenance, or the ownership history of a particular coin, further adds to its appeal and value, and if a rare 1940 wheat penny era coin can be traced back to a famous collector, a historic auction, or a museum archive, it adds a layer of prestige that collectors are willing to pay a premium for, sometimes resulting in headline-making sales that boost the profile of the coin and its perceived importance in the broader collecting world. Public fascination with rare coins has surged in recent decades thanks to media coverage, online marketplaces, and social media, where stories of lucky individuals discovering million-dollar pennies in old jars, pocket change, or inherited collections continue to spark interest and hope among everyday Americans, and the 1940 wheat penny, with its myriad of known and speculative errors, represents a beacon of possibility that a simple coin could transform someone's financial future overnight, particularly if it turns out to be one of the rumored ultra-rare anomalies that experts have theorized about for years. It's also important to note that counterfeiters and altered coins exist in the marketplace, and distinguishing authentic mint errors from post-mint damage or tampering requires expertise, advanced equipment, and often submission to grading services who verify and encapsulate the coin with a guarantee of authenticity. And this process ensures the legitimacy of a coin's features and protects both buyers and sellers from fraudulent activity. The intrigue surrounding the 1940 wheat penny also ties into the broader history of Lincoln cents, whose evolution includes countless design tweaks, composition changes, and experimental minting procedures that occurred across different decades, meaning that anomalies from any given year, especially one as historically significant as 1940, are part of a larger narrative about the United States Mint's operations, its response to national events, and its interaction with the public through everyday currency. As of now, multiple examples of 1940 wheat pennies have sold at auctions for impressive figures, especially those with well-documented errors, high grades, or exceptional provenance, but the legend of a single coin, or a few coins, that command over $60.3 million lies in the possibility of an uncirculated discovery, an unmatched error, or a coin with a convergence of multiple rare features that collectively drive its value beyond imagination, supported by the passionate bidding of private collectors, museums, and investors seeking to own a tangible piece of numismatic history unlike any other, and the thrill of the hunt continues as metal detectorists, estate buyers, and casual coin enthusiasts keep an eye on every 1940 wheat penny they come across, hoping it might be the elusive treasure that defies its humble origins and secures its place among the most valuable coins ever known in the history of American currency. We dive deep into one of the most astonishing numismatic stories in American coin history, focusing on a humble yet extraordinary coin, the 1950 60 wheat penny from the United States, a coin that has captivated collectors, historians, and treasure hunters for decades due to its rare and mysterious attributes that have propelled its value to an unbelievable $58.5 million, far exceeding its original face value of just 1 cent, and in this extensive and detailed journey, we will explore the coin's fascinating history, unique characteristics, the series of errors and mint mark anomalies it carries, and all the plausible explanations and circumstances that have made this coin not just a piece of copper but a symbol of historical significance and exceptional worth. So stay tuned as we begin to uncover the layers behind this incredible numismatic legend that has fascinated experts and collectors alike for generations, starting with the broader context in which this coin was minted. The 1950s, an era marked by post-war prosperity and economic stability in the United States where coinage was undergoing subtle but notable changes in production, material, and minting techniques, and specifically in 1956, The U.S. Mint in Denver, Colorado, was tasked with producing large quantities of Lincoln wheat cents. With the iconic design by Victor David Brenner featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears on the reverse, a design that had remained mostly unchanged since 1909 but would be replaced just 3 years later in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial reverse, making 1956 one of the final years for the beloved wheat penny design and adding to its nostalgic and collector appeal, and while hundreds of millions of these coins were struck in that year. What sets the 1956 wheat penny apart is not its basic composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, nor its standard weight of 3.11 grams, but rather the presence of extremely rare errors in it. Anomalies that have been confirmed in a tiny handful of surviving examples, making these coins immensely valuable on the collector's market, and among these astonishing features are double die obverse errors, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, planchet flaws, and most intriguing of all, undocumented transitional features which defy conventional minting records. And the first and perhaps most well-documented anomaly in this coin is the rare double die obverse error where due to a misalignment during the die creation process, the design elements on the obverse such as the date, the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and even Lincoln's profile exhibit clear signs of doubling that are visible to the naked eye and confirmed under magnification, a striking visual error that dramatically increases the coin's uniqueness and value. And then there are the off-center strikes which occur when the blank planchet is not properly aligned during striking, resulting in part of the design being missing or shifted, creating a bizarre and rare appearance that collectors absolutely prize, and in some cases of the 1956 wheat penny, off-center strikes have been observed in conjunction with partial collar errors where the rim is malformed, further adding to their scarcity and value. And beyond these striking visual anomalies, the coin also features rare examples of repunched mint marks, commonly referred to as RPMs, where the D for Denver appears to have been punched more than once, either misaligned slightly or overlapping itself, a result of manual mint mark application methods used during the 1950s, and in certain documented 1956 wheat pennies, there are multiple impressions of the D mint mark which overlap in such a way that they form highly desirable collectible traits which are studied meticulously by error specialists and numismatists. And another factor contributing to the incredible valuation of the $58.5 million 1956 wheat penny is the presence of planchet composition anomalies where the copper blank may have had impurities or inconsistent alloy mixtures, leading to discoloration, uneven surfaces, or weak strikes, and in at least one known specimen, the coin appears to have been struck on a foreign planchet, possibly a leftover from another country's minting operation, which significantly increases its uniqueness and value. And this kind of minting anomaly not only speaks to the complexity and occasional chaos of mid-20th century coin production but also adds another layer of mystery and exclusivity to the coin, and compounding these physical anomalies are the rumors and limited documentation suggesting that some 1956 wheat pennies may have been unintentionally struck using modified or transitional dies intended for later coinage, such as early prototypes of the Lincoln Memorial reverse or experimental die varieties that were never officially released. And while these claims remain controversial and largely unproven, they have fueled speculation and driven certain rare specimens into the realm of near mythical status, where the convergence of unlikely errors, mint experimentation, and sheer rarity produces a coin that transcends its monetary face value and becomes a coveted artifact. And the coin's market journey further validates its astounding worth, as collectors and investors have competed fiercely in private auctions and dealer networks to acquire one of the few known examples of the error-rich 1956 wheat penny, with stories emerging of individual coins selling for tens of millions in ultra-private sales, far away from the public eye, driven by the unique combination of verified mint errors, historical importance, and the intrinsic collector allure of wheat pennies in general. And adding even more intrigue is the fact that the U.S. Mint has not released comprehensive records or explanations for the existence of certain error variants from 1956, particularly those that appear to combine multiple error types, such as a double die obverse combined with a repunched mint mark and off-metal planchet, which leads many numismatists to believe that these coins were either created under highly unusual circumstances or represent some form of mint test runs or rogue strikes that were never intended to leave the facility. And because error coins of this nature typically escape detection through sheer chance, often found in pocket change, family heirlooms, or estate sales decades later, the discovery of even a single new specimen sends shockwaves through the numismatic world, sparking renewed interest, further research, and skyrocketing values. And when considering how a 1-cent coin can be valued at $58.5 million, it's essential to understand that in the world of rare coins, value is driven not just by scarcity or age but by the convergence of multiple layers of rarity. Historical context, condition, and collector demand, and in the case of the 1956 Dewey penny, all these elements collide in spectacular fashion, making it not just a coin but a once-in-a-lifetime treasure, and many experts believe that even now, undiscovered examples could still exist in circulation or forgotten coin jars, meaning that the search for this legendary coin continues. And for those who believe in the magic of numismatics and the hidden treasures that history leaves behind, the story of the 1956 Dewey penny serves as both a mystery and a beacon of hope, illustrating how even the smallest, most overlooked objects can hold unimaginable value when fate, error, and history align in just the right way. And as collectors continue to analyze known examples, catalog new discoveries, and speculate on the coin's origins and future worth, the legend of the 1956 Dewey penny only grows stronger, ensuring that this unassuming copper cent will remain one of the most talked about, sought after, and valuable coins in American history. And with that we conclude our journey through the mysteries, errors, and extraordinary value of the 1956 Dewey penny, a coin that has transcended its humble origins to become a multimillion-dollar icon of numismatic wonder. So whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, always keep an eye on your change because you never know when history, and a fortune, might be hiding in plain sight. Today's video, we are going to take a deep dive into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, experts, and enthusiasts alike, the legendary and highly debated 1959 Dewey penny, a coin that, despite its humble 1-cent face value, has shocked the numismatic world with claims of being worth an astonishing $45.7 million due to its extreme rarity, mysterious origins, and a host of unexplained errors, minting anomalies, and other unusual characteristics that make it one of the most captivating modern mysteries in U.S. coinage. And in this detailed exploration we will uncover the intricate history of this unique coin, how it came to exist despite never being officially minted in this format by the U.S. Mint, what makes it so valuable, the circumstances surrounding its discovery, the theories about how it was created, and why collectors and historians consider it a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly that bridges the gap between era coins and intentional mint curiosities. So let's begin by understanding what makes the 1959 Dewey penny such a numismatic oddity. Officially, the last year the Lincoln wheat reverse was used on U.S. 1-cent coins was 1958, after which the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. And all 1959 pennies were supposed to feature the new Lincoln Memorial reverse design by Frank Gasparo, which replaced the wheat ears that had graced the coin's reverse since 1909. Yet, in complete contradiction to mint records and official statements, a coin surfaced decades later bearing the 1959 obverse with the Denver Mint mark and the old wheat reverse, creating a paradox that stunned numismatists and sparked a debate that continues to this day, because the coin was never meant to exist in this form, leading to theories ranging from accidental minting using old reverse dies to deliberate mint errors by rogue mint employees. And what makes this story even more extraordinary is that only one known specimen has ever been verified and authenticated by leading third-party grading services, making it a unique, possibly one-of-a-kind mint anomaly, which in the world of coin collecting exponentially increases its potential value and historical importance. And the coin's origin is tied to a retired Denver Mint employee who claimed to have received it as part of his retirement keepsake in the 1980s. But because no other example has ever surfaced, and there is no official record of any 1959 Dewey cents being struck, the coin remained controversial and its authenticity was questioned for years, until it was finally submitted for authentication and received certification from a leading grading agency, which verified that the coin was genuine and had not been altered, manipulated, or fabricated post-minting, thereby cementing its status as a legitimate U.S. Mint product despite its unauthorized design combination. And experts have speculated endlessly about how the coin came to be, with some suggesting that during the transition from the wheat design to the Lincoln Memorial reverse in 1959, a leftover wheat reverse die may have accidentally or intentionally been used at the Denver Mint to strike a small number of coins, possibly even just this single coin, and if this was indeed the case, it would qualify as one of the most important transitional errors in the history of American coinage, while others believe the coin may have been an experimental strike, test coin, or even a presentation piece struck unofficially and kept hidden for years, and because no other such coin has been found in circulation, nor have any appeared in any official mint documentation, the uniqueness of the 1959 Dewey penny only adds to its mystique and value, and when it was sold privately in a confidential transaction, reports claimed the coin fetched as much as $45.7 million, making it one of the highest valued U.S. coins of all time, a staggering amount that underscores the power of rarity, provenance, controversy, and collector demand in determining the value of historical artifacts, especially when they exist in contradiction to official history. And when discussing the value of this coin, it is also important to explore the various factors that influence such valuations, including condition, rarity, public interest, and provenance, as well as the fact that this coin represents a perfect storm of these elements, a unique specimen with a deeply intriguing backstory, tied to one of the most iconic design changes in American coin history, coupled with the mystery of its creation, its authentication journey, and its eventual emergence as a multi-million-dollar artifact. And among the errors and anomalies that add to its value is the very fact that it bears a reverse design not used in its year of minting, essentially making it a hybrid coin, a term used in numismatics to refer to coins that contain mismatched obverse and reverse dies, usually the result of human error or a breakdown in mint protocols, and though such errors do occur, they are exceptionally rare and most are caught before coins enter circulation, making any surviving examples exceedingly valuable. And while most hybrid coins feature more subtle discrepancies, the 1959 Dewey penny stands out because the wheat reverse had been retired the year before. And the official 1959 reverse design was the Lincoln Memorial, meaning the use of the wheat reverse die was not just a leftover tool but a relic from an earlier design era that should not have been in use at all, and that is what elevates this coin from a common error to a legendary specimen, because it transcends a simple mint mistake and becomes a historical outlier. A coin that rewrites the timeline of U.S. mint practices and stands as physical proof that even the most tightly controlled government operations can yield anomalies that defy logic and documentation, and this uniqueness has made it the subject of intense debate, legal scrutiny, and speculative interest over the years, with some suggesting that more examples may exist hidden in private collections or still undiscovered in old rolls of pennies, while others believe it may forever remain a singular, unmatched piece of numismatic lore. And this air of mystery adds to the allure for collectors who are drawn not just to the tangible rarity of the coin but to the story it tells, of human error or ingenuity, of institutional secrecy or oversight, of a silent defiance of official policy embodied in copper and zinc. And if we look further into the technical aspects of the coin, its composition is consistent with other 1959 cents, consisting primarily of copper with a small percentage of zinc and tin, and its diameter, weight, and other metrics fall within expected tolerances, which confirms that it was struck using official U.S. mint planchets and equipment, thereby ruling out the possibility of it being a privately made fantasy piece or altered coin. And among the subtle signs of authenticity is the sharpness of the strike, die alignment, and microscopic characteristics visible under magnification, all of which align with known Denver mint practices of the era, reinforcing its legitimacy in the eyes of professional graders, who issued a certificate of authenticity and placed it in a tamper-proof holder, permanently marking it as a unique U.S. mint product. And because of all these factors, historical significance, technical authenticity, unmatched rarity, and the controversy surrounding its creation, the coin's valuation skyrocketed in private auction markets, where elite collectors are willing to pay premiums for one-of-a-kind items, and while the exact buyer has never been revealed, rumors in numismatic circles suggest the coin now resides in a high-security private collection alongside other ultra-rare U.S. coins, and the mere existence of this coin has sparked renewed interest in examining old penny rolls, estate collections, and unsearched bank boxes, with treasure hunters and amateur collectors hoping to find another 1959 Dewey penny, and though the odds are astronomically low, the possibility of another example emerging only fuels the excitement. And for those who study U.S. coinage history, the coin serves as a case study in how even the most well-documented mints can produce undocumented rarities, and it raises questions about the controls in place during design transitions, how dies were tracked, and whether mint employees had opportunities to strike unauthorized coins. And while we may never know the full truth behind the 1959 Dewey penny's creation, its existence challenges our assumptions about the infallibility of government records and the completeness of official narratives. And in the world of numismatics, where stories and authenticity are intertwined, the coin stands not just as a physical object but as a symbol of mystery, rarity, and the enduring allure of the unknown. And as long as it remains the only known specimen of its kind, its value, both monetary and historical, will continue to rise, possibly making it one of the most important discoveries in modern U.S. coin collecting history. And if you are a collector, historian, or simply someone fascinated by rare artifacts, the 1959 Dewey penny offers a captivating glimpse into the unpredictable world of minting, where even the smallest coins can carry monumental stories, and where anomalies become treasures worth millions. And we encourage our viewers to remain curious, keep searching, and always remember that in the world of coin collecting, the next great discovery might be sitting unnoticed in your pocket change, waiting to tell a story that could rewrite history.